Let me tell you something. You are the most valuable product on the shelf. Not your job, not your car, not your degree. You. And the sooner you start treating yourself like a product, the sooner life starts treating you like one. Let me tell you something right off the bat. You can't sell what you don't know you got. One of the biggest mistakes people make is walking through life unsure of what they bring to the table. They're waiting for someone else to label them, waiting for the world to recognize something they haven't even claimed for themselves. That's not how successful people move. That's not how products become bestsellers. You want to productize yourself? First, you got to know your ingredients. And I'm not talking about job titles or fancy degrees. I'm talking about your real ingredients, your talents, your mindset, your passion, your experience, your struggles, and your perspective. All of it, the things that make you you, because that's your flavor, that's your secret sauce. That's the stuff that can't be copied, stolen, or faked. See, you've been gathering ingredients your whole life. Maybe you've got a way with people. You can walk into a room and shift the energy. Maybe you've got a mind for strategy. Maybe you're creative, or maybe you're the type that can organize chaos with your eyes closed. It could be something you've always done naturally, something you've been overlooking because it comes easy to you. But let me be clear, just because something's easy for you doesn't mean it's not valuable. In fact, that's often where your gold is buried. The very thing you shrug off is what someone else would pay for. This is why self-awareness isn't just some feel-good concept. It's the foundation of everything. You need to take inventory. Sit down with yourself, no distractions, and write down what you're good at. Not what you wish you were good at, not what looks good on paper, what you actually do well, what lights you up, what other people always ask you for help with. And don't downplay it. That voice in your head that says, well, that's not a big deal. Tell it to hush. If people are drawn to it, if they benefit from it, if it creates impact, it matters. Sometimes you don't even see your ingredients until life puts you through the fire. You don't realize you've got grit until you've been tested. You don't know how strong your spirit is until it's the only thing holding you together. But once you've seen what you're made of, there's no going back. Because now you're cooking with something real, something refined, something proven. And look, not every ingredient you carry will be glamorous, but every ingredient plays a part. Salt ain't sweet, but try making a cake without it. Your pain, that's seasoning. Your struggle, that's flavor. Your past, that's depth. Don't run from it. Mix it in and make something that nobody else can serve, because you are not here to be bland. You are here to be unforgettable. Knowing your ingredients is about owning your story, your full story. The wins and the losses, the confidence and the doubt, the days you showed up and the days you almost didn't. All of it matters, because people don't connect with perfection, they connect with authenticity. So when you step into a room, don't water yourself down. Don't try to be a knockoff version of somebody else. Be the original recipe. Be bold with your flavor. Let people feel what you bring. When you know your ingredients, you stop begging for seats at table. You realize you are the table. And everything you need to serve success, you've already got it in you. You just got to stir it up. You're not lost. You're just not labeled yet. And that's fine, because once you know what you're made of, you can choose your own label. You can choose your own price. And baby, the world is hungry for something real. So the question is, do you know what you're cooking with? Let's get something straight. You could have the most valuable gift in the world, but if nobody notices it, it might as well not exist. That's where packaging comes in, because in this world, perception is powerful. People often don't take the time to look beneath the surface unless something on the outside catches their attention first. That's not being shallow. That's just human nature. We are wired to respond to presentation. So if you want to productize yourself, you better start learning how to package your greatness in a way that gets it noticed. Think about it like this. You ever walk through a store and see two products with the same basic ingredients, but one's wrapped clean, bold, and confident, and the other looks like it just rolled off the back of a truck? Which one do you grab? It's not about being flashy, it's about being intentional. Packaging is how you communicate your value before you ever speak a word. Now, packaging is more than just the clothes on your back, but let's start there because it does matter. I'm not saying you need to wear designer labels or suits every day. I'm saying you need to dress like you respect yourself, like you know where you're going, like you've already arrived. Because when you walk into a room with your head up, your clothes clean, your energy sharp, people take notice. And more importantly, you feel different. Presentation changes posture. When you look ready, you act ready. That's just facts. But packaging also shows up in the way you talk, your tone, your confidence, your vocabulary. If you're walking around mumbling, doubting, or apologizing for taking up space, you're selling yourself short before anyone even gets to see what's inside. But if you speak with clarity, own your story, and carry yourself like you've got something to offer, people start listening, people start leaning in because they can feel that you're not just another item on the shelf, you're premium stock. Then there's your digital packaging. Listen, we live in a scroll culture. People will make a decision about you in 5 seconds based on your profile, your email, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your website, whatever space you show up in online. So make it count, make it clean, make it represent who you really are and where you're headed. If you say you're professional, let your pages look professional. If you say you're creative, let that creativity shine through. You don't need 1 million followers to stand out. You need consistency and intention. And don't forget about energy. Yes, energy is part of your packaging too. You ever meet someone and their vibe is so magnetic, you don't even know what they do yet, but you already want to work with them? That's the power of energetic packaging. The way you shake hands, the way you listen, the way you make people feel, that's part of how you sell the product of you. Is the truth. People won't always give you a chance to explain your depth. They don't always have the time or the patience to peel back the layers. Sometimes you only get a moment, a quick look, a first impression, a passing intro. And in that moment, your packaging better speak loud and clear. It better say, I'm worth your time. I'm worth the conversation. I've got something you need. It's not about faking anything. It's not about being something you're not. It's about amplifying the best of who you are and putting it out there with purpose. That's what real packaging is. Presentation with integrity. The inside and the outside working together to create something powerful. When you package yourself right, you stop blending in and start standing out. And in a world full of noise, standing out is the first step to getting picked up off the shelf. Let's talk about something most people struggle with, but nobody wants to admit: knowing your worth and having the courage to charge for it. It's one thing to recognize your value, but it's another to put a price on it and stand firm. That's where people fold. They get nervous. They shrink. They start handing out discounts on themselves like it's a clearance sale. Let me tell you something. You are not on sale. You are not 2 for 1. You are not free with purchase. You are the main product. And if you don't set your price, someone else will. And it'll always be lower than you deserve. Now, I'm not just talking about money, though that's part of it. I'm talking about your time, your energy, your access, your skills, all of it. When you truly start to see yourself as a product, you start understanding that everything you give has value. Every phone call, every email, every idea, every moment of your time, that stuff costs. So why are you handing it out like candy on Halloween? See, the problem is that people feel guilty charging for what comes natural to them. Oh, it's easy for me. I shouldn't charge much. Listen, it's easy for you because it's your gift. That's the whole point. That's exactly why it's valuable. What takes you 30 minutes might take someone else 3 days. People aren't just paying for your time. They're paying for your expertise, your experience, and the years it took you to be this good. Don't apologize for that. Don't water it down. Set your price and say it with your chest. And let me tell you, when you don't set boundaries around your worth, the wrong people will take advantage of you and the right people will pass you over. Why? Because even the people who respect your talent will doubt your value if you don't express it with confidence. Think about the last time you saw something priced too low. You probably wondered, what's wrong with it? That's exactly how people will treat you if you keep lowballing yourself. There's power in saying no. There's power in walking away from things that don't match your value. Every time you say no to the wrong thing, you make space for the right thing to show up. And the right opportunities, the ones that pay you what you're worth, that respect your time, that appreciate your energy, They don't show up until you start showing the world that you're not desperate. You're not just trying to be chosen. You are choosing clients, jobs, relationships, partnerships. You are choosing because you know what you bring to the table. And look, people will test you. Oh yeah, they'll try to get a deal. They'll ask for the friend discount. They'll say, can you do it just this once? And that's the moment where you either teach them how to treat you or you teach them how to use you. You've got to decide. Every time you lower your price out of fear or guilt, you reinforce the belief that you're not enough unless you're bending. That's not confidence, that's compromise. And too many people out here compromising themselves out of success. If you want to be respected, you got to stop negotiating your worth like you're unsure of it. Speak your price, stand on it, and don't flinch. That kind of posture, it doesn't just attract more respect, it attracts better opportunities. People trust a product that believes in itself. Think about your favorite brands. They don't beg for sales. They don't explain why they cost more. They stand on the quality. They trust that the right buyers will show up. And guess what they do? The same goes for you. When you set your price, when you define your boundaries, when you put value on your time, you stop chasing people. You start attracting them. You become rare. You become exclusive. And in a world full of cheap imitations, exclusive sells. So whatever it is you do, coaching, teaching, designing, leading, serving, healing, whatever your gift is, stop giving it away like it's nothing. Because when you treat your gift like it's valuable, the world will too. Let's make something real clear. Resumes get read, but brands get remembered. A resume might open a door or get you a call back, but a brand walks into the room before you do. A brand speaks even when you're silent. It lives in the way people talk about you when you're not around. It's what lingers in the minds of others long after the meeting, the call, the presentation. And if you want to productize yourself, if you want to stop blending in and start getting chosen, you need to stop stacking bullet points and start building a brand. Now, don't get me wrong, a resume has its place. It lists what you've done, where you've been, maybe who you worked for, and what title you had. But a brand tells people who you are. It communicates what you stand for. It shows what you consistently deliver regardless of your role or environment. A resume might say project manager, but a brand says this person gets things done, solves problems, and makes people better. A resume is your history. Your brand is your reputation. And here's the thing, anybody can copy your resume. They can go to the same school, get the same degree, hold the same title, but nobody can replicate your brand because your brand is built on your authentic energy, your style, your voice, your values. That's what separates you from the pack. That's what makes people remember you. And in a crowded world, being memorable is everything. You build a brand through repetition, not randomness. It's not just about what you say, it's about what you consistently do. You show up on time every time, that's part of your brand. You bring humor and light to stressful situations, that's your brand. You solve problems nobody else wants to touch, you building a brand of boldness. See how it works? Every moment you interact with someone, every post you make, every word you speak is all part of the impression you're leaving. So ask yourself, what do people associate with your name? When they hear it, what do they expect? The truth is, your brand can open doors that your resume can't even knock on. Because when people trust your name, when they've heard about your excellence from someone else, when your results speak louder than your qualifications, they come to you. You stop having to chase opportunity. Opportunity starts recognizing your value before you even speak. And don't think a brand is just for entrepreneurs or influencers. Nah, everyone's got a brand, whether you're building it on purpose or not. You could be a teacher, a nurse, a mechanic, a student, whatever your path, your brand is how you show up in that space. It's your reputation in motion. And if you're not being intentional about shaping it, then you're leaving it up to chance. And you don't want chance in charge of your future. Here's something else people get wrong. They think building a brand is about being perfect. Nope. It's about being consistent. People trust what they can count on. You don't need to be the best at everything. You just need to be reliable in what you do best. That reliability, that's what makes your name valuable. That's what turns clients into referrals, co-workers into advocates, and strangers into fans. So ask yourself, What do you want to be known for? What feeling do you want people to walk away with after interacting with you? That's where your brand starts. Then you live it, you speak it, you embody it. Because when you build a brand, an honest, strong, memorable brand, you stop being one name in a pile of resumes. You become the name people highlight, the one they circle, the one they say, that's who we need. And the best part, your brand stays with you. It's portable. You can take it from job to job, industry to industry, city to city. It moves with you, grows with you, evolves with you. And when it's built right, it speaks for you, even when you're not in the room. That's the power of building a brand. It turns your name into currency. It turns your reputation into opportunity. And it reminds the world that you're not just qualified, you're distinct. Every single day you wake up, whether you realize it or not, you're marketing something, your attitude, your energy, your story, your presence. The question is, are you doing it on purpose, or are you leaving your reputation to chance? Because in a world that's constantly watching, scrolling, listening, and deciding, your ability to market yourself isn't just helpful, it's essential. You don't have to be loud, you don't have to be famous, but you do have to be visible. You have to show up like you believe in your own value. See, too many people wait for the big break. They think when the right person sees me, when the perfect opportunity comes along, then I'll shine. But that's not how it works. You don't wait to be discovered. You don't sit around hoping someone taps you on the shoulder and says, now's your time. You create the moment by showing up consistently, boldly, and intentionally every single day. Marketing yourself isn't just about business cards or fancy profiles. It's how you carry yourself in every interaction. It's how you walk into a room. It's the way you talk about what you do and how you make people feel while you're doing it. It's not bragging to speak confidently about your skills, your vision, and your goals. It's called ownership. And if you're not willing to own your message, trust me, someone else will write the narrative for you, and it won't be the version you want. Marketing yourself means telling your story, not waiting for someone else to tell it for you. It means showing your process, not just your results. Let people in on the journey, show them what you're building, how you think, what you value. People don't connect with perfect, they connect with real. They want to see the behind the scenes. They want to understand your why. That's what builds loyalty, trust, and recognition. And listen, you don't need a stage to be seen. Your daily habits are your stage. That hallway conversation, that's marketing. That follow-up email you almost didn't send, that's marketing. That post you made, the article you wrote, the question you asked in that meeting, all of it is shaping how people experience you. You don't need a big audience. You just need the right eyes. And the only way to find them is to keep showing up with clarity and purpose. Some people will tell you to stay humble, and yes, humility is important, but don't confuse humility with invisibility. There is nothing humble about hiding your gifts. There is nothing noble about pretending you have nothing to offer. You've worked hard, you've learned lessons, you've built skills, so share them. Share them proudly, not arrogantly, but authentically. That's how you build trust. That's how you make noise without ever raising your voice. And remember, the way you market yourself tells the world how you expect to be treated. If you carry yourself like an afterthought, people will treat you like one. But if you move like you know you're valuable, if you walk with that quiet confidence that says, I bring something to the table, people respond to that. People feel that. That energy is contagious. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be consistent where it counts. Choose a few platforms, choose a few key conversations, show up with the same tone, the same values, the same level of excellence every time. That consistency becomes your signature. That's how people start to say, I know who they are. I know what they're about. So stop thinking marketing is for someone else. It's not just for influencers or salespeople or entrepreneurs. It's for anyone who wants to move forward in life with intention. Marketing yourself is simply reminding the world one moment at a time that you're here and that what you bring is worth paying attention to. Let's be real. If you're going to productize yourself, you've got to accept one truth up front. You are the product, and the product is never finished. There's always room to grow, sharpen, level up, and refine. It doesn't matter how good you are, how much praise you've received, or how comfortable you've gotten, there's always another version of you waiting to be built. because greatness isn't about arriving somewhere and chilling. It's about evolving. It's about waking up and asking yourself, how can I be better than I was yesterday? Think about it like this. Even the most successful brands in the world keep updating. They release new versions, improve features, fix bugs, listen to feedback. Why? Because staying relevant means staying in motion. The moment you stop improving, you start declining. And that's not something you can afford when you are the product. So ask yourself, what does your next version look like? Not what other people want, but you. What part of your skill set needs sharpening? What weaknesses are slowing you down? What habits are keeping you stuck? Because real self-investment doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it's silent, sometimes it's behind closed doors, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. But that's where the magic happens. That's where transformation begins. Improving the product means being honest with yourself. No fluff, no ego. Just raw self-awareness. If your communication skills aren't where they need to be, work on that. If your discipline is shaky, tighten it up. If your knowledge is outdated, get learning. The most powerful people are not the ones who know it all. They're the ones who know they don't, and they're willing to grow every single day. And let's be clear, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. You're not trying to become flawless. You're trying to become more effective, more impactful, more intentional. You want to be sharper in your field, clearer in your message, stronger in your presence. And that kind of improvement doesn't just serve you, it serves everyone connected to you, your clients, your team, your community, your family. They all benefit when you decide to raise your standard. One of the biggest traps people fall into is success. Yeah, success can be a trap because once you start getting results, once you start hearing praise, once things get good enough, it's easy to stop pushing. It's easy to say, I've made it. But that mindset, that's the beginning of the fall. Because while you're coasting, someone else is grinding. While you're resting on what was, someone else is working on what's next. The winners, the legends, they never stop improving the product, even at the top. Improving yourself also means protecting your energy and environment. Who are you around? What voices are in your ear? What habits are shaping your mindset? You can't grow in soil that doesn't support your roots. Sometimes leveling up means letting go of people, places, distractions, and routines that no longer fit the future you're stepping into. And sometimes improving the product is internal. It's not just about skills and performance, but healing and mindset. You've got to clean out old stories that keep you stuck. You've got to forgive yourself for the missteps, release the doubt, and build a belief system that matches where you're headed. Your thoughts shape your behavior shapes your results. So if you want different outcomes, you've got to start with different input. Remember this, every time you choose growth over comfort, you upgrade the product. Every time you take a risk to learn, to stretch, to confront the hard stuff, you're elevating your value. You're not just becoming better for today, you're becoming built to last. And in a world that moves fast, where attention is short and trends fade quick, being built to last is a serious advantage. So, stay hungry, stay curious, stay humble enough to know there's more work to do and bold enough to do it. Because no matter how polished your packaging is, no matter how strong your message is, if the product doesn't deliver, none of it matters. The real flex is being so committed to growth that every time the world sees you, they see a better version than they did before. Once you've built something valuable, once you've taken the time, the energy, the grind, and the growth to create a name that means something, you've got to do the one thing most people forget: protect it. Protect the brand. That means guarding your name, your energy, your reputation, your image, and your consistency like your future depends on it, because it does. See, a brand is fragile. It takes years to build and seconds to damage. You can't just build it and walk away like it's on autopilot. You've got to watch it, maintain it, evolve it, and most importantly, defend it. Because once people know your name, once your presence carries weight, they're not just watching what you do, they're watching how you do it. Every move you make reflects back on the brand you've created. Protecting the brand starts with alignment. Every opportunity, every conversation, every post, every partnership, ask yourself, does this align with what I stand for? Not everything with a paycheck deserves your yes. Not every invitation deserves your presence. When you start making decisions based on how it looks instead of how it fits, you dilute your value. And once people feel like you're for sale to the highest bidder, you lose control of the narrative. The brand is your name, your voice, your word. When you say something, mean it. When you commit, deliver. When you show up, bring the full version of you, not a watered down, compromised, just getting by version. Because people remember how you made them feel, and they attach that feeling to your name. That's your brand working for you or against you. And let's not act like people won't try to test your boundaries. They will. They'll try to pull you out of character. They'll throw dirt on your name. They'll challenge your patience, your professionalism, your values. But when you know who you are and what your brand stands for, you don't flinch. You don't have to clap back. You don't have to prove anything. Your consistency will do the talking. Your results, your track record, your reputation, they speak louder than any rumor ever could. Protecting your brand also means knowing when to say no. Not everything deserves your response. Silence can be a power move. Discipline can be a defense. You don't need to react to every critic or respond to every slight, not when your brand is built solid. Let your work talk. Let your consistency talk. Let your excellence talk. You also protect the brand by maintaining your standards, even when no one's watching. Because the brand isn't just who you are in public. It's who you are in private. It's how you talk when the mic is off. It's how you treat people who can't do anything for you. It's what you do when no one's clapping. And if you only act like the brand when the spotlight's on, people will smell the fake. Real always recognizes real. Part of protecting the brand is protecting your growth environment. Stay around people who remind you of who you are, not people who tempt you to settle or shrink. Keep yourself in circles that value integrity, consistency, and elevation. If your brand is strong but your surroundings are weak, eventually the cracks will show. Stay rooted, stay sharp, stay focused. And let's not forget, you are your first PR team. The way you speak about yourself matters. The way you respond to wins and losses, the way you handle pressure, the way you carry yourself in every room, that's your brand speaking before you open your mouth. So speak life, speak excellence, speak vision, because the world will start treating you the way you treat yourself. At the end of the day, protecting the brand isn't just about what you do. It's about who you consistently choose to be. And when your name stands for something, when it represents value, trust, professionalism, authenticity, excellence, then every door that opens for you knows exactly what it's getting when you walk through it. That's power, that's leverage, that's legacy. At the end of the day, talk is cheap, vision is beautiful, packaging is important, branding is powerful, but none of it matters if you don't deliver results. You can have the slickest message in the room, the best looking profile, the most motivational words, but if people can't count on you to produce, then your value is all sizzle and no steak. What separates the noise from the names that last is execution. It's that ability to show up, get it done, and make something happen consistently. Delivering results isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about being the one who follows through when others don't. It's about being reliable, being prepared, and being relentless. It's about showing that you're not just an idea person, not just a planner, but a closer. The one who takes the vision, the plan, the blueprint, and turns it into something real, something people can see, touch, use, and benefit from. You don't need a lot of noise when your name is tied to impact. When your results speak, you don't have to shout. When you're known for showing up and getting it done, people start coming to you. That's how you shift from chasing opportunity to attracting it, because results build trust and trust builds demand. Now let's be real. Delivering results doesn't mean it's always going to be easy. It doesn't mean you're going to feel motivated every time. There will be setbacks. There will be distractions. There will be moments when everything feels heavier than you expected. But delivering anyway, that's what builds your reputation. Showing up when it's not convenient, putting in the work when nobody's watching, solving problems when things go sideways. That's the kind of consistency people remember. And this isn't just about big wins. Delivering results means you take care of the details, you meet deadlines, you communicate clearly, you follow through on what you said you do. That kind of consistency stacks up. Over time, those small moments of execution create a brand that says you can count on me. And let me tell you, being dependable in a world full of flakes, that's a superpower. Everybody wants to be a star, but not everybody wants to do the unglamorous stuff that makes the lights come on. Everybody wants the reward, but few want the repetition. So if you can be the one who does what they say, hits the mark, and keeps the bar high, you will stand out. It's easy to fall into the trap of busy work, of looking productive instead of being productive. But results don't lie. You either made it happen or you didn't. You either moved the needle or you didn't. So be honest with yourself. Track your outcomes, not just your efforts. Measure what you actually delivered. Did you create value? Did you help someone solve a problem? Did you push something forward? And here's a truth a lot of people don't want to hear. No one owes you credit for potential. Potential is a promise. Results are proof. You might be brilliant, but brilliance that never gets executed just becomes frustration. Your talent needs traction. Your ideas need action. Your promise needs proof. Delivering results is how you earn respect, how you build trust, how you get invited to bigger tables. People remember who made a difference. They remember who delivered under pressure, who rose to the challenge, who brought something to the table that actually worked. That's the kind of name that spreads. That's the kind of brand that gets requested, referred, and respected. So don't just aim to be liked, aim to be trusted. Don't just post quotes, live them. Don't just talk about your goals, show them. Get the work done. Deliver what you said. And when things shift, when challenges come, when deadlines feel tight, adapt, adjust, and still deliver. Because that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. That's what turns your name from a maybe into a must. So here's what it comes down to. You are the product. Not your job title, not your resume, not your social media highlights. You, your habits, your skills, your mindset, your consistency, your ability to show up and make things happen. That's the real value. That's what people invest in. Follow, refer, and remember. This world doesn't just reward potential, it rewards clarity, ownership, and execution. So productize yourself. Know what you bring, package it right, price it with confidence, protect your name, improve continuously, market yourself like your future depends on it, and then back it all up with results that speak for themselves. You don't need permission to be valuable. You don't need a title to show up like a brand. You are the business. And the moment you start treating yourself like one, the world will too.